So hi, welcome to the Good Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm B. I'm Wes. And we're Indighxst.
And we're asking some questions to say about their new single, Glitch. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to it so far?
Thank you. Honestly, the response has been really cool. It's been really cool. It's really cool that people really like this one, because it's definitely like a different sort of like flavor than we're used to like serving up and shit.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Song's awesome.
Rocked.
Him for like just seeing how it's doing. I usually, when we drop stuff, I kind of just like disconnect and just let it do its own thing and not really pay attention to it until after the fact. And then I'll tap back in and see how it's doing. Or yeah.
So you're not a big, big comments guy, numbers guy.
That's if how it's doing, or like let us know how it, like what people are saying about it. So he's usually the point of contact for that.
Fair enough.
Gotcha. So is there any meaning behind the single title or cover art?
As far as like the single, or the cover art was just like, we really just like the like aesthetic of like green for this, because like I just feel like the theme of like Glitch is like super digital, because like the lyrical content itself is just more about like just identity crisis or identity problems and imposter syndrome and all that stuff. So I feel like I wanted to do something that kind of like makes you like feel that way. So I felt like the title Glitch was like really sort of like what made the most sense, because like I feel like when you have issues with identity, it's kind of like, so to speak, a glitch in the mirror, kind of like what, like the main line of the song is and shit. So I think that was more so what we were going for.
Hell yeah.
Love it.
So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for this single?
So, all right, no, I'll let B start this one off since
So this song was actually, I tweeted about it like the day it came out. It was a little bit different because normally our writing process is usually in this room, Danley, who's not here, usually starts the song, or typically now Wes does it as well, where we start songs with beats, and then we'll like find a beat that we like. Wes will throw a melody over it, kind of like making like a little R&B song. And then once we have that, we'll see, all right, how can we make this into an Indigo song with like full band. But this song I wrote on, I was filling in for another band and I was on tour, but I had like a laptop and like a recording setup. So I started this song pretty much, the initial demo is almost exactly the final song, just minus the production on it. So this was just written on the road.
Wow.
Nice.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and that riff just kind of like inspired me to just come like a little bit more like aggressive, a little bit like more like honest. Not
it was like
a
a
performance, but like just like with the lyrical content too.
Yeah, also it was my attempt. I was touring with a heavier band at the time, so it was my attempt of writing a heavier. I always put quotes because like Indighxst, I don't think Indighxst is like a heavy band, but it was my attempt at writing a heavier Indigo song, and it's also why we dropped it after Lace, because when Lace came out, some of the comments were like, they're not really doing the band thing no more. They're going poppy. I'm like, all right, but we got like a heavier one tucked. So
yeah, exactly.
That was kind of the strategy behind that.
Exactly.
And B, I guess like you don't struggle to write on the road like at all, because I know some artists like I gotta write when I'm home and that's it.
No, it wasn't like an intentional let me write. The big thing with how that came about was the band I was touring with was like super technical, and I'm not really like a technical player, so I had that rig out to practice the songs that I was playing on that tour. So that's how that came about. Normally I honestly wouldn't bring what I had that on me at the time.
Fair enough.
Okay, gotcha. And then you guys mentioned that the songs kind of start as an R&B type song. Would you ever drop those, or are those at all like usable?
I've been
honestly, it would be cool, because like when I like did Lace, it was really just like a super mellow, just R&B instrumental, and I listen to it like now that like Lace is out and like I've separated like the beat from the song, and like now it's like its own entity now. It's like, honestly, I feel like we definitely could drop.
I talk about it all the time. I would love to do it.
Do like a super stripped version where it's just be maybe a little acoustic guitar or like clean tone guitar or something like that. Just super mellow, just chill. Just have like, for the fans that want to listen to like the aggressive side, but also appreciate like the mellow like R&B side of us as well. So like kind of just have like something for everyone and stuff. But I'm definitely open to doing that for sure. For sure.
I fully support it.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
Definitely. I'm
always talking about doing it. Even like current songs we write, I'm like, yo, why don't we just make this a straight? Doesn't need heavy guitars on
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
We talked about current songs. We talked about maybe like covers one day, like certain songs that we like in like the R&B genre that we feel would like translate well and like with some like guitars or some instrumentation on it. But like I don't know, we're definitely plotting some stuff though.
Ooh. Okay, that's very exciting.
Yes.
So I want you two to tell us your favorite lyric off this track and the meaning behind it.
Okay. All right. Well, I think like the main lyric is just imposter glitch in the mirror. And I think that's like what the song really just is about. It's just feeling like, all right, like the person that I think I am is not really who I am. You know what I mean? It's just like, I feel like imposter syndrome, at least to me, what that means, it's just like, you think that you're somebody and you live your life sort of like in this role that it's like, all right, I'm like Wesley, like the person. But like when you're by yourself, you feel like almost like, all right, like, is this really me or is this like who I want to be? Or is this me or is this like who people expect me to be or something like that? So like, I feel like just like, it was just like the instrumentation and everything with the song, like the aggressiveness of it, like was like just like the perfect like stage for me to just like write about this topic because like it's like really such like almost like a frustrating feeling, just like feeling like you're trying so hard to like cultivate like this sort of like not really like a persona per se, but like I would guess like just like what you think people expect of you. And you think that's what you want, but sometimes you have these doubts about like yourself, about who you are and what you want. And I feel like just Glitch really captured like all that uncertainty and everything. And I feel like that's what really shined through. So that one line is what I really built off the entire song.
Wow.
So
nice.
I honestly haven't even looked at the lyrics.
So then,
he just plays the verse. He just shows up. Yeah. We pay him, and then he goes.
This song was honestly done probably 2019, and it went through a couple. Yeah, it went through a couple different arrangements. There was an arrangement that had him rapping on it that did not age well. That's why. Age well, so
the bars were weak.
They were
yeah. So we scrapped that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just go at it. I just
listened to the like what's out on Spotify. I just listened to it for the first time the other day in my car.
Oh,
I was like, and there was a lot of ear candy that I didn't wasn't like on the demo, you know, or like what we were writing with. So
I feel like other musicians will relate to this, but like I feel like once you like have the song, like you have the final mix and it's just in your files, like in your phone, like for so long, and then when you hear it finally, like just on a streaming platform. It's different, you know. Like
so I want to hear what other people are hearing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other people aren't hearing the Dropbox file that I have. They're hearing it on Spotify.
They're hearing a compressed version of that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the worst version, but it's different, you know. Like it's like, oh wow,
it's there.
Yeah. B, you mentioned like you don't really know the lyrics. So could you tell us like your favorite part of the song then?
Of the instrumental?
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite part actually didn't make it on the final. It was I added like a siren, I guess.
Oh yeah.
It was a siren on there, but I think Beartooth used one after I wrote it, so I was just like, it might have been for the best.
Was that because of Mike too?
Yeah, it was.
We're into like this song "Mama" by Mike.
Yeah, it's like a siren.
Fucking love that song.
It's like the top 3 Mike Kemp song. Like, you know, like the Bigger Mother, I don't care. Like that's top 3 Mike Kemp. Like it's so good. And like there's this live video of that song where they have that siren blaring like during like the performance, and it's just so fucking
it was
crazy.
Like a DVD that they did, Black Parade is Dead.
Yeah.
I watched that all the time. I watched
20 times.
Yeah.
It's fucking so cool.
Like. So what's on the final favorite part? Kind of nerdy, but there's like a guitar bend thing where it adds kind of some tension.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. It's like a
oh yeah, no, that's always like the end shit.
Yeah. It's the same riff, but just I guess played a little differently. It adds a little bit as opposed to like the main so yeah, probably that part.
Nice.
For sure.
And then you guys brought up My Chem. Gotta ask, favorite My Chem records?
3
You
cheers.
go first.
3 cheers. Oh, songs?
Correct answer.
No. Full album.
Okay, album. 3 cheers.
3 cheers.
I just saw them in Brooklyn, and they played.
I was there too.
Styles on 9/11, so
Yep.
it's pretty crazy to see that.
Yeah.
No, that was
Awesome show. I got lost on the subway after though.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
Fire. I got really good seats. That was
Nice. My partner, it was like a last minute thing. They just bought like cheap nosebleeds, and we went, had a great time. It was awesome. I saw them 4 times on that run though. So.
Jesus Christ.
I really wanted. I'm not gonna get into that. I wanted to go more, but
yeah, that's worth it, man. That's worth it. I think. I'm gonna give like the super basic answer. It's Black Parade, but like honestly, like I got into my camp just off like C100. Like back in like when I was like
teenagers,
bro. When I was in middle school, bro. Like when I first heard Black Parade come on the radio, it was like unlike anything I ever heard in my entire life. I'm like, yo, this is like the greatest song I've ever heard in my entire life. And then I go to listen to the rest of Black Parade, and I'm like, yo, this is amazing. So like, and it still holds up so well, you know. So like, honestly, Black Parade, just because of like the time of my life that I heard it, like it was great.
Fair enough. I'm personally a Bullet stan.
What's this fast? I'm not gonna lie.
Was that the one that had vampires on it?
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Vampires was such a great song.
Yeah.
So I fully agree with that. That's probably my second place, and then 3 Cheers will probably be third for me.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
And you like 3 Cheers, right, Gloria?
I'm a 3 Cheers stan. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Give them Hell Kid. It's my favorite.
Come on, the little bass line in the beginning just gets you
It's
going.
crazy. Yeah.
It's
It's crazy. They did too much with it. They did too much.
That song's fire. That whole record's really fire.
It's just so awesome seeing them like just in full swing now, just touring and like just being Mike Kent and shit. Because it's like, yo, like it's almost like we thought like we've lost it for a while. You know what I mean? Like,
I
I
accepted that for a while. Like I never saw them before this tour, so
I kind of thought like, yo, I'm probably never going to see this band live.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fine. You know, they're just like the fucking entity that is My Chemical Romance, and that's fine. But like seeing them play now and just all that shit, it's really great to see.
Absolutely.
Yes, I agree.
People are hype on like the Blink-182 comeback, and that's great.
I mean, Blink never left. Is the thing.
All the way, I kept all the fucking way.
Personally, I wouldn't pay $600 a ticket for nosebleeds to see Blink-182.
Yeah.
The Ticketmaster dynamic pricing, they got a hold of that shit, and it's expensive. Yeah.
Bro, like I've seen people tweeting about like Blink-182 tickets and shit, like how expensive they are. I'm thinking in my mind, all right, they're probably like a little $200-$300, which is expensive. Like I'm not paying to see Blink personally. But
I paid $600 for those My Camp tickets in Brooklyn.
And
oh my god.
Fair enough.
600
per or total? Like
yeah, per.
Jesus,
oh my
where
God.
were you sitting?
I got the sweat on my forehead, bro.
Were you on the stage?
Yo, I was.
He may as well have been.
I'm like,
bro.
For $600, like, yo, you better let me join the band. Like, bro.
right, like let me perform a song with
Yo,
you.
I'm
Like,
the new like fucking backup vocalist and shit. Like, yo.
Exactly.
But I was looking at some of the Blink-182 tickets, and like in Long Island, nosebleeds face value after all the surging and shit was like $225. I'm like, this is just fucking ridiculous. Like, the band isn't that fucking good. I'm sorry. Like,
no, they're not.
they're fine
Are we allowed
and
to
all,
say
but
that?
like, listen, I don't know. That might be a hot take though.
They're
That
gonna
is
be feeling it, and then I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'll go home.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, yeah.
that's pretty much it for me. Like, I'm good, so I don't need to pay like $200-$300. Some people pay $600. That's fucking max.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, man, some people might say the same thing about My Camp tickets. So
Well, they're fucking stupid. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
My camp is different.
That's
Okay.
you know what I mean? That's like you got to see My Camp once. I got to see them
I
once.
just dropped the lamp.
exactly. Personally, I'll be waiting for Adjacent Fest in Atlantic City to be announced, and then I'll see Paramore and Blink-182 headline that festival and pay $200 to see both of them and be done with it.
Yeah, bamboo.
Are they doing like that When We Were Young shit also? Like,
I think Blink is doing When We Were Young.
Yeah, Blink is
Paramore
doing
is
it.
also doing it. My Chem's
what's
doing
doing
it.
it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know, I mean, at least they have those bands at least. Like,
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be a shit show though. Sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
it's
I
gonna-
hope it isn't.
that's
But
you heard it here first.
right.
Yo,
Well, the first one is on Friday.
Yeah. It's
So-
this weekend.
yo,
We'll
I am
see.
anxious to see how this is going to go. Like, for real, because just like logistically, like it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
just in terms of like the lineups, like just how shit is like spaced out throughout the day. Like, it gives me anxiety looking at that lineup. But yo, if it works, great. Like, yo, that would be awesome. It's like great if if it works. Like, because if we have something like that on a yearly basis, that would be fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't, then I guess we all kind of saw it coming. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I know Shane and I spoke about this earlier, but it's like the 30-minute sets are killing me, man. Like, imagine like waiting for Pierce the Veil to come on and Vic's only up there for like 30 minutes. I would feel like ripped off. I'm sorry.
But the thing
30-minute sets for everybody.
Yeah, I don't.
Were they though?
Yeah.
Some of those
I don't get this argument because it's like it's everybody. It's people's glory's age that are fucking arguing this. That's like, well, 30 minutes.
You're a year older.
Did you ever fucking go to Warped Tour? Like, have you ever been to a festival before in your entire fucking life?
Oh my god!
It came ripped and got off.
Yeah, exactly. And like bands overlapped all the time at Warped Tour. It's like, so what? They don't overlap at Sad Summer Festival. Bands overlapped all the time at fucking Warped Tour. Like,
all the time.
Yeah.
I was just as stressed at Warped Tour because I'm like, yo, like it sucks like having to choose between two bands you really fuck with within the same hour, and it's like, oh man, like, and then trying to like literally like, all right, I'll see like half of their set, and then I'll see like half of their set,
but their set's on the other side.
I was gonna say you're missing.
So kind of like bullet, and then you're running through people who are like fucked up and like just like it's insane. It's nuts. Like Warped Tour was really a time because now me at like the age of 27, like I'm not doing that. At the ripe age of 27, I'm not doing all that.
You're parking your ass at one stage, and all the bands better be at that stage.
Everyone better be at that one stage, and that's it. I'm out by like 9:30 p.m. and I'm gonna be home
in bed. Exactly.
That's it. Like,
fair enough. So back to the track. Could you guys tell us where your headspace is at while you guys are writing this single?
Oh shit, man. Well, I think Glitch was like one of like the first newer songs that we did because when we wrote like Pyromance, we wrote Pyromance like years ago. Like one thing about us that like I think our fans know very well is like we take forever to drop songs, and it's like I feel like we write a batch of songs and then we kind of just space shit out like unintentionally, you know, because you know life happens and shit. But like Glitch was one of like the newest,
the second batch.
It was like one of the first of the second batch, like when we were really trying like writing all together as a band, because like the songs like Pyromance and like Limbo and all that stuff, like those are songs that like me and Denley just wrote, and then Glitch was like the first song that like B was involved in. So I feel like that's really like the first time where we're all three of us are like really locked in and shit. So like I think that song was like really important. We were all trying to like really like come full force and just show everyone like, yo, like we were good back then, but now we're even better. Like we're even like stronger as a band, I think. So I think that was more so the mind space, just like kind of just like come super aggressive and like, you know, all that shit.
Are we good?
We're good.
Okay, cool.
I'm getting like I'm on my iPad right now, so it's like people are hitting me up. For me, I wrote that song instrumentally, like not necessarily a dark time for me, but it was like a dark time in my city, and like that energy kind of just rubbed off on me. That's kind of the byproduct of a really weird time in my city, like a lot of murders, and it was like a phase of like wild murder spreads, you know, like every 2 days people were getting clipped, and it wasn't like, you know, before that it was like here and there you would hear some stories, but it was like consistent, like it was a weird time. So that I wrote that, and like I said earlier, the initial demo kind of lasted the entire way through until we sent it out to get mixed and mastered, but more than anything we had multiple recording sessions for your vocals, because I remember I oh my god, why is everyone hitting me?
Bro, you're blowing up.
Yo, but I remember I paid for Uber for him to go, like one of my friends to engineer some vocals on it, and that was probably one of the times where it had the rapping on it. So it was also frustrating too, because I at the time I just wanted it out, because I wanted it to be like I don't know if you guys are tapped into like rap, but when Lil Baby dropped The Bigger Picture, like right in the heat of the George Floyd protest, like I feel like that was perfect timing. And in my mind, like in hindsight, that's kind of what I wanted with that song, even though it was like a more localized thing going on. So I was kind of frustrated because I wanted schedules weren't lining up.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was
So that's why I paid for it because he was like, "Oh, I can't really do that." I'm like, bro, I'll pay for the Uber. Just hop in and go check on it.
That day was like so fucking intense because I went from like Union, New Jersey to like I don't know where the fuck that kid was, but like it was just so far. Like I literally hopped on the train and took hella transfers. Ended up at like the studio at my boy's house to record like the vocals at like fucking like 7 p.m. and I was like starting my day literally at like noon or something like that. It was like so much travel, like so many transfers, everything like that. And after all of that, after like finally making it there on my own,
none of those vocals got used.
None of it got used.
It
got used. I ended up redoing it at like a friend's house like under an hour, and I'm like, I may as well have fucking done this.
Yeah.
But I feel like those sessions had to happen for us to hear it back and be like, nah.
And I feel like that's the thing with like our band. It's just like we write a song, but like once that song is written, it goes through so many stages of evolution after that. Like, so we try so many different styles of production, mixing, everything like that.
This song was in 3 tunings.
Yeah,
so we settled on
everything. Like it's really crazy. I feel like we take a song as seriously as we would an album, where it's like before we drop like any one song, we have to make sure like it's perfect in our ears. You know what I mean? Like just everything is just like there's no room for like error or flaw or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I feel like that's why kind of like it takes a bit for us to drop, but yeah, no, I think it's worth it at the end of the day.
I think it's definitely worth it because like you guys are still able to like keep people interested. Like I saw your Spotify is still like at 60,000 monthlies. I was scrolling through your Twitter. There's a shit ton of people hyped when the song dropped. Like it's crazy that you guys can kind of keep that kind of retention in an era where it's like you got to constantly feed the beast.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see that.
It's pressure. It's a lot of pressure. I'm sure other bands can relate. It's just like I feel like the average like listener's like attention span with shit nowadays is just so small because like we're just so bombarded with like so much music and so much shit is dropping. Like every Friday, at least like 5 bands drop. You know what I mean? Like it's so much, you know. So you're always like kind of like you always have that in mind. Like it's not really like competitive in per se, but you always have in mind where it's like, yo, like other people are dropping and they're dropping a lot more frequently. So maybe we should drop more frequently. But it's at the end of the day, like you have to trust your own process at the end.
You feel that. I never feel real.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm super obsessed. I'm super obsessive with everything. It's like I'm always checking the stats every day, like seeing.
That's why I go to him when the song comes out because he's the one taking the screenshots, comparing how it did today versus yesterday.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm like,
obsessive.
Once it's out, there's nothing I can do to make someone like the song more or less. Like it's out. It's out. I'll get the report later.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Exactly. Now, there's always things that you can kind of do in between where it's like, honestly, it's interesting, like how like you can use social media as a tool now because like I'll get like a little shitty tweet off, get like 300 retweets and like 1,000 likes or whatever, and then I'll just drop the song under there, and then like the Twitter video will get like an extra like 1,000 views and shit, and like it's like shit that like if you're not paying attention to it, it's like, oh no, the song's just doing better all of a sudden. And it's like, no, like all those interactions and like everything, it really makes a difference. Like, so no, I'm always super in tune with that. I'm always paying attention to it because like, yo, like it really, there's little things that you can do to always kind of like just spike that up. You know what I mean? Everything, like there's always new ears that you can like reach, I think.
Absolutely.
Completely agree. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this single for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, no more, no less.
Okay. All right. So you want to just do 1 word each until we hit 3?
Yeah.
All right. So
it's 3
words each.
3 words
6
each.
total.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
Heavy.
Okay.
One at a time or three?
No, you do 3 and then I'll do 3.
You're gonna run the words. Heavy. I would say, groovy, and melodic.
That's good.
Okay, no, that's not bad.
You're the melody man.
That's not bad. No, okay, all right. So you took a couple of mine. That's fine.
I know. That's why I wanted to bounce back.
No, it's cool. Because now, like, I used to be an English major, so my vocab is being tested now. So I would say avant-garde. No, let's see. Okay. Introspective, because I feel like the lyrical content is very introspective. It's very just about yourself. I would say, did you say aggressive?
No.
So I'm gonna say aggressive now. I think it's very aggressive. Just vocals, the instrumentation. It's just very in your face. And let's see, collaborative.
There you go.
It's the very first
That's
song where all of us are just in tune with each other. Everyone's participating, and we ended up with a great song. So,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I killed that shit.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
did way better than I expected.
You did good. That was good.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the single?
Okay, that's a very interesting question. Okay, what do you think, babe?
Nah, I mean, if you get something from it, cool. If not, just bob your head.
Just
There
bop
you
your head. Honestly, that's great. Just bop your head, enjoy it. Like you know what? Yeah, no, I would say the same thing. Like if you can relate to the lyrical content, and if it's something that makes you really just like think, and it's something that you can relate to, because I feel like just a lot of people can relate to imposter syndrome, especially if you're an artist, especially if you're just someone who's very goal oriented and everything like that. I feel like it's something you can relate to. But if not, then like B said, just bop your head.
Exactly.
Because it's got that for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So while listening to this track, what band or artist influence pops out the most to you guys, if any?
Ooh, okay, all right.
Um,
Okay, that's a good question.
that is a good question.
Go ahead.
I'll give a shout out to Enochian. That's the band I was touring with. So if it wasn't for me touring with them and having that guitar and that tuning, I probably would have been able to, or I probably wouldn't have come up with that riff in that moment. I don't know.
Okay, so in my sort of like influences for that, it's just like I feel like this is just like a very metalcore song. So like I drew a lot of influence from like metalcore.
It sounds nothing like it, but I remember in my head I was listening to a lot of Kublai Khan.
Kublai Khan?
Maybe Boomslang. That record that Boomslang was on came out at the time, and I was like, I remember I wanted to send the guy who mixes and masters like the notes. I was like, yo, I want the Boomslang mix. It's nothing like the Boomslang mix, but I remember in my head specifically, I'm like, when I'm like, yo, this needs to have like the Boomslang thing going for it. So I'll say Kublai Khan for sure.
For me, it was definitely more like there are certain melodic parts with the guitars that remind me of like kind of like counterparts sort of riffs almost. So like those like super like fast parts would definitely kind of remind me of that.
The punk beats.
Exactly. Those, super like also shout out to counterparts. That new album was fucking sick. But aside from that, as far as the vocals go, like choruses and everything, like I drew a lot of influences from like bands like Mobs and like Northlane was another one too. Like especially with like sort of like the cleaner parts of that song, like it was very like gave me a lot of Northlane vibes. It reminded me a lot of them. So like a lot of just bands like those.
Oh yeah. So is this single leading up to anything bigger, or are you guys sticking with single drops right now?
Well, we have this conversation all the time. I feel like our answer kind of changes a lot. Like we've really been dropping singles just like as a way to like kind of like
get rid of the pile,
get rid of like the older songs and stuff like that, because like we've written so many where it's to the point like we definitely the short answer is yes, we definitely want to lead up to something bigger at this point. Whether it's an album, EP, we're definitely building towards something. Whether or not these newer singles are going to be a part of that, maybe they will, maybe they won't be, but it's definitely leading towards something. We were definitely a singles band for a while, but we've always been oriented towards like, all right, let's drop an album eventually. Let's drop a bigger project eventually. Let's give like the fans something like more like of like a project, something a little bit more like cohesive or whatever. Like that's like the music reviewer term, cohesive. Like,
for me right now,
I feel like this band, this album isn't really as cohesive as the artist. It's like,
I'm adding that to my repertoire for our streams on Mondays.
Oh my god!
I feel like they're not sure what direction they may want to go in with this album, but but yeah, no, I've always wanted to like my goal with this band is not only to just like reach a lot of like audiences, just with like the music, but just I definitely want to come out with an album one day, album EP or something. So I would say yes. Short answer, we're definitely working towards something like that in the future. So definitely keep your eyes, ears open, whatever. So that's coming.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour. You're at a gas station for a rest stop. You're going in. What is your snack of choice?
I've toured more than West.
Yes.
Aqua seltzer, the tabs, water. I have really bad acid reflux on tour. I don't know if you can tell by my first two answers. So
we're talking more what gives you the acid reflux.
Yeah.
So much the remedy for it.
No.
Well, he's getting the remedy while he's getting the stuff that's going to give it to him.
Exactly.
No. That's forward thinking. Yeah, that's forward thinking.
I don't even know. I've had So what I say?
Alka-Seltzer,
water.
And then probably if it's a 7-Eleven, I'll hit like a Liquid Death or like a seltzer water. I'm very boring.
More water, okay.
More water. My body hates me when I'm on tour. So Alka-Seltzer.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yum.
I haven't had a chance to go on like a full on tour yet, but like just like playing shows and like going out of like state sometimes and shit, hitting like various Wawas and 7-Elevens and all that shit. Like, if I can't get a sub, I'm just gonna rock with like a bag of pot fries, a ginger, not either a ginger ale, or I'm gonna do a red Gatorade, bag of fruit snacks, and honestly, it's good that you said Alka-Seltzer because
I would have 3 weeks in a row. Your answer's gonna be mine.
I wouldn't think of Alka-Seltzer, so it's good that he's thinking of it because I would definitely like for sure.
Okay. Perfect.
Gonna have to get, if you guys ever go on tour, big ass like tub of that shit.
Yeah, no, I literally have a pack not in this office. I have one downstairs. I needed one last night.
Alka-Seltzer sponsorship.
I don't want to be associated, man. It's embarrassing. Pop it in, just...
So on the top,
strong.
So on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
It'll be tacos. Mexican food all the way. Why? Because we usually link up in this very room. This is like the office I have in my house with like a little desk setup where we write and record. Typically we're always in here around this hour, which is 8 p.m. and there's a 24-hour Mexican restaurant 2 blocks away. So whenever we're here, it's by the time we get hungry, it's a spot called Brujeria. So it's a
shout out Brujeria.
No, they don't give me no discounts.
Oh no, he's like that back.
Yeah, tacos. Chicken tacos, Mexican style on flour tortilla is the exact order.
Exactly.
Perfect. Love it. So for these last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you guys.
Cool.
Awesome. So we're actually going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh shit! All right, bet. Okay, all right.
White rice with red kidney beans made by a Puerto Rican woman.
Oh, yeah.
And steak also made by I eat the whole meal made by my mother, preferably.
Yes.
Or just some Puerto Rican woman who knows how to throw down. I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
That's a very good last meal.
Honestly, I agree.
Oh, and a bev? Last meal. Maybe a Corona with a lime in it. It's just I'm going out anyway. Might as well.
Why not?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna do something similar, but I'm gonna go more like Dominican with it. I'm also gonna do a big ass steak, but I'm gonna do like some fried plantains on the side with that. I'm also gonna do the white rice with the kidney beans also, because you gotta do that. That's essential. And for the drink, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Mango White Claw.
Mango White Claw. But that's the thing, though. Like, I don't know, because like I feel like if I get lit, I'm gonna be like, damn, I'm gonna die.
Oh.
Damn, that sucks. So honestly, I'm gonna do a lemonade, but with lime instead, because that's how my mom would make it. So that's how I'm gonna do it. A little limeade and shit. That's I'm gonna do that, and that's all I'm gonna do personally.
All right, sounds
Great
good.
Meals.
So if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Okay.
I would live in wherever Jimmy Neutron lives. I always wanted to be in that Jimmy Neutron, like the lab. Like pull the hair out, go in.
Yeah.
And right away, definitely be there.
That's a good pick.
If you asked me when I was younger, I would say Kids Next Door, universe because
yeah.
Kids
That's a
Next
good
Door
one.
universe was like, yo, like if you're a kid, that was like the most lit shit you can be is in the Kids Next Door. I remember like the Cartoon Network website, there was like a little like game or something where you can like make like an identification card
To get
for like
in?
the Kids Next Door and shit, and you
Yeah.
print that shit out. I had like a little wallet, like a Who Am I Kidding wallet, because I was like fucking like 11, I didn't have no money and shit, and I would put like the little ID in there. I'm like, yo, I'm in the fucking Kids Next Door, bitch.
Exactly, man.
That's, like, exactly. So yeah, I would say Kids Next Door definitely. But when you third turn teen, it's up.
No.
It's up. You're
Sad.
decommissioned 13. So
Mm-hmm.
adult, I almost like said Game of Thrones, but I don't want to be in no
You would
fucking
get
Game of
No,
Thrones.
you die.
I'm getting clipped. I'm done.
Yeah, I
I'm
said
done.
you would.
Not even in like a battle. Not even in like a battle. Like I like there would be
Like
like
an infection.
like in a flu or something that like just takes me out and shit, and then that's it.
Oh my god. The worst
like-
way to go.
Literally. I wouldn't be no Targaryen. I don't think.
Damn. All right.
But fuck it.
Well, I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Brown.
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 Mocha
Okay.
brown. I have a hoodie right here. I don't know if it can tell.
Oh,
Mocha.
that's a good brown.
Nice.
That's a very good brown.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I have a color crisis.
I know your favorite color is probably navy blue. You're wearing it right now.
I like blue a lot. I had a red phase for a little bit, definitely, but I think I'm more on the blue side now, honestly.
Fair enough.
But fuck blue.
I have a custom base that's mocha brown. That's in the lace video. Little Easter egg if anyone wants to.
Mm,
It's a matte brown. I don't have it up here, but yeah, brown.
Nice.
Mocha brown.
Mocha brown.
All right.
that's a
Good.
good color.
It's
I
very
feel like you could sum up like our color as a whole would be like mocha brown or something.
No, that's me.
So as Glory said, that's all the
We're the same color. Look at us. We're the same damn color.
Oh, you talking about skin? I was not talking about skin.
Not
Oh,
skin,
that's-
and like vibe, like just vibe overall and shit. Like,
Mm,
Nah, you're purple, bro.
I'm purple. What?
purple.
What does purple mean?
I'm just talking.
Yeah. He knows what purple means. He just don't want to say it. He knows what purple-
Exactly.
My second favorite.
He's like, no, you're definitely purple.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's
You're
an insult or
definitely
not.
Okay, all right. No, so now I'm gonna go on Google. I'm like, what words are synonymous with the color purple? And I'm
Munch.
munch.
Munch, bro. Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god!
Wow. So as Glory said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys would like to plug?
All right, well, no. Glitch is out. Go listen to Glitch a whole lot. We got new music that's on the way, so definitely keep your eyes open, ears open as well. That's on the way as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, thank you for now. This guy's been Indighxst, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.